So you're thinking of starting a podcast, or maybe starting again since the last time you tried it didn't go so well. And I get it, it's hard. Maybe you're afraid of your own voice, or maybe you're afraid of the tech part, how to set it up, what kind of microphone to use, what kind of software to edit your show with. Maybe you're just not sure what you're gonna say when you finally get behind that microphone, or how to book guests, or even what to say to those guests once you get them on the other end. Maybe you're worried about how to launch this thing, or the fact that it might cost a lot, not just in money, but in time to actually set up. Maybe you're just afraid it's too late. Or maybe like me when I first started out, you're just afraid nobody's gonna listen on the other end. But they will. They will. Let me tell you why. People are listening to podcasts, right? I mean, you know this because you wouldn't be interested in starting your own podcast if you didn't know that was true. It's the only kind of content that could be consumed while on the go, and not just for short periods of time, but for a long time, hours even. It's the only kind of content that really has that level of intimacy on a much more scalable level. And finally, every time you create an episode, it's almost like you're stepping into a room with hundreds of people, maybe even a concert hall with thousands, or a stadium full of tens of thousands of people who are there because of you. People need you. You have a message that needs to be heard. And it's not the voice in your head that's telling you you can't do this, because I had all those same voices too. And once I finally had my podcast up and running, and now I have like 5 up and running, the results have been tremendous. And I wanna be the reason why you get results too. Because there's a couple things you need. You need a message, and that's you. And that's what needs to be found. My role with Power Up Podcasting is for that message of yours to be heard. And yes, Power Up Podcasting includes all that you'd expect in a podcasting course. For example, how to get the tech set up, how to understand all the software that you might need, how to interview people, how to book guests, all those kinds of things. But more importantly, and where I feel my specialty is that I can offer you with this course, is that I'm gonna make sure your podcast gets found. That the people out there who need you will find you. So I'm gonna help you launch your show, market your show, and automate it to a point where it actually fits into your life without becoming overwhelmed. So really quick, let me tell you a little bit more about what you get with Power Up Podcasting. Power Up Podcasting is broken down into 3 different phases. The first phase is your pre-launch phase, everything you do before you actually launch your podcast. Then your launch phase, which includes launch week and what to do on launch day. And then finally, your post-launch phase, which is how you're going to scale and grow your show, automate it, and use it potentially for monetization as well. There's also some bonus material you can find within the course. So for example, you're gonna learn how to create a hit episode, a highly intentional and targeted episode, one that'll help you scale the number of subscribers and downloads that you have during certain time periods of the year. Secondly, I'm gonna share with you my formula for how to create raving fans, and you actually have a huge advantage using a podcast to help you do that. Thirdly, I have a lot of content related to monetization. A lot of you are looking to start a business or scale the business that you have. And I'm gonna share with you 4 different ways that you can actually monetize your podcast. And no, it's not just advertising and sponsorships. Now, here's the other cool part about this course, something that's unlike many other courses that are available out there on the market right now. First of all, not only do you get access to this content for life, but you also get access to a student center, a private group of students, both new and alumni, that are there to help support each other, hold each other accountable. Questions are being asked, they're also being answered, and I pop in every once in a while as well. And then finally, you're also gonna get access to office hours with me. Certain times during the month, you'll see that I'll post dates and times for specific moments where you can come on live with me and ask your questions and get them directly answered immediately, because I know as a course taker myself that sometimes you just need an answer to that one question to help push you forward into that next space. So I'm here to help you through office hours. The other students are here to help you through the student center, and the content, well, that's actually gonna walk you through hand in hand until you get your podcast up and running. So look, I know firsthand that starting a podcast is scary, that it's difficult, that it's not easy. And I know because I started putting together my show in December of 2008. And my first episode didn't come out until July of 2010. And I actually recorded that episode 3 times because I was just too scared. And thinking back, I'm like, man, I'm so thankful that I finally came out with my show. But I wish I had that 1.5 years back, because I'd be that much further ahead. Now, does that mean you're too late? No. Because there are people in the same space that you're in who are not going to start a podcast. And your podcast can be the differentiator between somebody building a relationship with you and transacting with you in the future versus perhaps with somebody else. Since starting a podcast, so many amazing things have happened in my life. It's opened the doors to so many more opportunities. With over 5 podcasts and 40 million downloads, I've been able to make a connection with people all over the world and help them start their businesses too. But more than that, it's allowed me to make even more money. It's allowed me to get more email subscribers. It's allowed me to build new businesses. It's allowed me to connect with other influencers who I would have never made contact with before. It's allowed me to have book publishers coming my way knowing I have an audience and that I'm okay behind a microphone versus other people who just aren't. And that didn't come naturally because I was not good behind the microphone to start. And if you go back all the way to episode 1, you can see that. You can also see how much I've grown. And so this isn't just a course to help you start a podcast. This is a course to help you grow in your business, in your life, as a communicator, and as somebody who has, like I said earlier, that message to share that needs to be heard. And I want to be the one to help you do that, just like I've helped these students here.
Hi, my name is Dr. Shannon Irvin, and I have a podcast called Epic Success with Dr. Shannon Irvin, all thanks to Pat Flynn and his podcast course. You guys, this course is amazing. If you've been thinking about doing a podcast, you have to have this course. I had been thinking about how can I serve other entrepreneurs? I'm a mentor. I have my own business, has been an entrepreneur for, going on 20 years, and always love working with my mentees, and I wanted to do that on a bigger scale. I wanted to have more impact, and I knew podcast was the way to do it, but I had no clue how to do it. And I met Pat, found out about his course, jumped on board, and guys, literally, he holds your hand from start to finish. He gives you step-by-step instructions. He has his live office hours if you get stuck and you need to ask him questions. And literally within a month, the Epic Success Podcast with Dr. Shannon Irvin is live. We have over 500 downloads now. I know it's going to keep crushing it because I've got some amazing guests coming on, and you will too. If you're thinking about doing a podcast, you have to get this course. It's amazing. By far the best course I've ever taken. I'm a fan for life, and you got to do this. You got to do this for you. Get that podcast up. Get the course.
I want to share with you how incredible the Power Up podcasting course is and what it's really done for me and the people I serve. Now, I'm a health and fitness coach, and back in 2007, I started a podcast, and I've been doing it weekly. So when I heard about this course, it was really easy to kind of say, well, I already know this stuff. I've been doing podcasting for a long time. But I knew better. I knew I could always learn more. And there was, and Pat Flynn being the master, I signed up for the class. And the Power Up podcasting blew away all expectations I had. I mean, I thought I could just learn a few nuggets here and there, but this course really helped me improve the current show that I was doing. This course is really a must for, getting people to find your show, to plan your show, create it, publish it, and get your show shared. Share your gifts. Thanks so much, Pat. This course absolutely rocked.
Somebody asked me not too long ago why I wanted to create this course. And it reminds me of late 2010. This was just months after I started my podcast. And just so you know, I was actually blogging 3 times a week and only podcasting every other week to start. And I had gone to this conference. And at this conference, I had met fans of Smart Passive Income and people who knew who I was. And when they would come up to me, they couldn't stop talking about the podcast. Podcast this, podcast that. And I'm like, what about my blog? I blog 3 times a week. I spent 90% of my time blogging and only 10% of my time podcasting. And it was at that conference that I realized that I needed to double down on podcasting, which I did, but also that it can really have an effect on the way that you connect with other people. And that's why this is something that means a lot to me, because I want to be the one that helps you have those same connections with the people who need to hear your message. So I can't wait to help you out. I look forward to seeing you on the inside. Click on the button, join in, and we'll get started.